Well, welcome back to MC Motorsports here. So today I want to show you how to set up works for pretty much every carburetor you'll find, but this is a 4160 series, a 600 Holley. That way if you get something right out of the box, or you got a swap meet or something else, it's a little warm here because I already have it warmed up. I mean, you got your fuel bowls front and back. Now here's going to be your float set on the front and back. These are side hung floats on your float bowls, and right out of the box or whatever, if you got an electronic fuel pump, turn it on. You got to fill these bowls up or crank it over, get the bowls fuel. And here on the side, on the front and back, is your sight plugs. Now you remove those. Don't lose these, by the way. You can do this while it's idling or not, but you're going to want to just see it right at the edge, barely just trickle down. And how do you adjust the floats is, see this screw and the nut on top is right here. If you don't get your floats right, you're not going to get nothing else right. So you got to start with your floats. So we're actually going to try starting this, and we're going to adjust it. Like I said, if you have electronic fuel pump, crank it, whatever. You know, try to rock it back and forth, see if you see it just trickle out. You know, I can see the float level right there. It's right at the edge. It's tickling on the threads right there. And when you loosen this up, you're going to want to keep your jam nut, your locking nut, real close relation with your screw there, because it's going to leak fuel out. And now we got the front side set. For the back, it's the exact same process. You got to take your sight plug out. I said, number one, pull your sight plug out right here. And you got one in the front and back on this. This is single feed, but it's dual float bowl. It's gonna be a 5/8 wrench. I said, keep that jam nut in close relation with the screw here, because it will leak fuel out. I think every time I do it, I leak fuel out. And you want just to be tickling right at the edge there, you know, maybe a touch coming out. And then there you go, your float bowls are set. Number two is on this side. I'll bring you around. Down here is your throttle stop screw. And what you're going to want to do with that is back that out. Now this is an initial setup here. Back that out to where it is not against the throttle at all, or it's just right touching it. And there you go. Well, one full turn in, half, one. That's going to be your third. And this is for initial start here, initial setup. Let me get back out of the way here, not fall out. So all the way out, one full turn in. And then here on the sides, right down here, if you could see it, there's one on each side. And then if this was a dual feed, you'd probably have them in the back here on the rear metering block. This doesn't have it. Here are your idle mixture screws. And initially, what you want to do with those is take them all the way in, just till they stop. Don't force it, don't crank it, just touch stop. and 1.5 out. Half, 1, half. And do that on the other side as well. Take it all the way in. Half, 1, half. And this should be initial to get you fired up. Now you can do all this by ear when you start it up and you go tinkering with the idle mixer screws and the idle screws. You could do it by ear, you could do it with the tack, you could do it with a vacuum gauge. What you're going to want to do is fire it up and adjust your throttle stop screw to get where you initially want your RPM at. Let's say you, because this will put you probably about 700 to 1,000 in that ballpark there. Tickle that thing back wherever you want. If you want 750, you know, and you have a tack, put it at that. And then what you're going to do with your idle mixer screws, once you have your initial RPM set, you're going to want to, if you got a vacuum gauge, we're going to put this vacuum gauge on. We're actually going to do that right now. Okay. So now I got my vacuum gauge on. Now what you're going to want to aim for is your highest, smoothest vacuum. You don't want it bouncing around or anything. I mean, if you got a good cam in here or something, you're going to have less vacuum. But you want your highest, smoothest vacuum. So we're going to start by starting up, setting initial RPM. And we're going to start with one side or the, it doesn't matter which side. Take it out a half a turn. And you're going to want to watch, if you don't have a vacuum gauge, you're going to want to listen for the highest, smoothest, you know, I'll show you. And you want to do this fully warm too, because you can't, you got to have the choke fully open. Okay, I'm happy with the RPM where it's at, so now I'm going to go to the mixer screws here. Now I'm going to go half a turn out. See if I see a change. Now wherever I find the initial where I'm happy with, I'll go an extra quarter turn out to help it warm up a little faster. Hi, boom dogs. I'm going to do the same with the other side. So now your idle set, your idle mixer screws are set with the highest vacuum. And once you adjust your idle mixer screws there, sometimes, I mean, you're going to have a cup 50 RPM more or something. You might have to just tweak on down your throttle stop screw there, get your idle exactly where you want it. And I can't remember if I forgot to say it. You always want to hook your vacuum gauge up to manifold vacuum, never ported vacuum. But like your vacuum advanced distributor is always ported. You want that where it's not pulling nothing until your throttle blade's open. Now, the last adjustment you can make on this, on the outside, is your accelerator pump here. And you want this to where it, see this nut and bolt here with this red spring, and here's your accelerator pump arm on the bottom. You want that where it is just touching, use a piece of paper, where it is just touching, but not pressing down on the pump. And that way then, once you hit the throttle, it's right on the pump. It should be able to get you started, get you down the road. As for the Holley, I mean, bang for the buck. I mean, if you're looking for all-out power, you won't beat the Holley. I think drivability-wise and ease of tuning, I prefer the Edelbrock's. But this came with the Holley on it, and Pop's truck's got the Edelbrock on it. I'm gonna have to get the vacuum out here and sweep all this out of here. It's kind of a fire hazard. Hopefully I didn't miss nothing in this video here on setting up a Holley for initial start and just kind of fine-tuning it in a little bit. I'm sure I probably missed something. Knowing me, I did, and then I'll be editing it and pissing and moaning that I missed something. But anyway, you gotta do your float levels first. because you're not going to get it right without your float levels being right. Your throttle stop screw second, and your idle mixer screws. And it takes a little bit of practice, especially if you're doing it by ear. But it's not hard to get them set up, and when they're set up, they're going to be fine. Like I said, it's not fuel injected. You're not going to come in, just hit the gas or hit the key, and she's going to light right off. But this will be able to get you where, give it a couple pumps, and she's going to light right up for you. So, yeah, I think that's it. Cover the accelerator pump, the auto mixer screws, throttle stop screw, float levels. This one's electric choke. I think that's it. Well, hopefully you got something out of this video. Hopefully it helps you out a little bit. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. I gotta get rid of the fire hazard that's sitting on the intake manifold here.